This is one of the very best of Kurosawa's oeuvre. It has been considered his Hamlet, like Throne of Blood is Macbeth and Rand Trace's King Lear, although The Bad Sleep Well is a distinct work from Hamlet in certain regards. Most distinctly thematically is the lack of existential friction with the Christian moral cosmology. It thins the cast to a couple of handfuls of players who are relevant to the panoptic uncle nephew tension which permeates both texts, and eschewing Shakespeare's smirking employment of tragic justice in his conclusions. One of the finest exercises in film direction, staging, and cinematography ever realized. At the time of its release, I would consider The Bad Sleep World to have been on a short list of the best films ever made. It may be my favourite Kurosawa film up to this point in time, edging out the prior Shakespeare influenced masterpiece Throne of Blood. Perhaps the best films of Hitchcock, Lean, Chabrol, or Clouseau are on a par with Kurosawa's best films up to this point, but not very many other filmmakers across the world. In Japan itself, Kinokasa, Mizuguchi, Toyoda, and Kinoshita directed some magnificent films. Kinoshida's The River Fufuki, released the same year, 1960, is a bewildering achievement. Let's nominate the best of those early Disney features, Snow White in particular. Animation is the ideal realization of this medium. Live action cinema is merely one component, the easiest to execute, of the wider art of animation. We always need to remember this truth. I'm ready and willing to hear any other candidates, please, if you're inclined to. In debt to the master text, yet inescapably Japanese, a master text which, despite being the most exalted in the English language, itself was borrowed from Denmark's history and downstream of a Middle Eastern religion. The sheer universalism of Shakespeare, indeed the circumstances which culminated in Shakespeare's texts and their apparent Englishness, is a reminder that those who would both be the chauvinist of certain cultures and those who would sneer at the idea of their proud singular culture having an influence from others they feel snarkily opposed to, are vapid and cognitively lazy, seemingly. To not appreciate this film, I try to be democratic, but I don't know, dismissing all of this effort feels like narcissistic hubris. Claiming its cinematic or artistic priorities aren't enough refined is an even odder proposition to hold. If anyone does, maybe some European critics who throw a hissy fit whenever a film isn't superficially plain Maoist enough. Nothing hurt the wider worldwide left more than the upper middle class and upper class maggots who treated it like a club clique. The right probably can't believe how effortless it would be to turn the masses away from the left. The elitist pigs behaved exactly like how the right wanted to decry the left as. So then the working classes would turn against the prospect of their righteous liberation. The left will no longer walk on eggshells for its more chic-hungry privileged larpers, and certainly not for the other side. They claim to be the free speech, no harm in words, sticks and stones side now. Let's hold them to it. It sounds like such fun.